It's senior year, right? How I guess difficult or the word used that fighting through this injury, kind of your senior season, the season to shine, but having to deal with this throughout the season.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a little bit heartbreaking to have to stay home while your team's going to San Francisco or going to Sonoma, and you have to kind of sit back on the sidelines and watch it happen all the way from Arcata. But you have to kind of channel that. You can't let it get you down, because running is it's physical and it's mental. So if you sit here and you let it get to you, you're gonna have no motivation to keep pushing forward and keep fighting through that injury. But at the same time, it is also exciting because I do get to sit back and finally watch these girls perform to their best abilities, when usually I'm working my butt off, they're working their butt off. I don't get to see a lot of what they're doing sometimes, so it's cool getting a new perspective though too, and that in itself helps channel my focus and attention towards healing as well.
Health-wise, what percent do you think you are?
I'll give you like an 80. We'll take that. But I don't really think about that, because regardless, it's going to be at what kind of pain level it's going to be at during the race. So if I sit here at the race saying, man, I'm only at 80%, I'm only going to perform at 80%. So if you're going to ask me that day of race, I'll tell you 100%, because I'll give it 100% regardless. So
if you say you were a freshman, sophomore right now, is this something where you'd be like, hey, look, I have a couple more years left, I'm going to look to the future? Would you still be running, or is this something as senior that you're going to give it your all no matter what?
Yeah, every time I talk to Bubba about this, or anybody, it's kind of frustrating, because I've worked the past 5 years for this year explicitly, and if I were a sophomore or a freshman, I'd say, hey, let's maybe redshirt, let's rehab right, let's do it right. But I'm out of time really, so you got to give it your all no matter what, and still play it safe for track season, because you always have to look ahead as well.
Knowing you throughout the years, you've definitely had some memorable moments, if it's the CC2A, if it's regionals, if it's the big stage. What is it about you in those big events?
I love them. I love the pressure. I love, the expectation. I love going into a big meet. People, they typically look down on Humboldt. I just love kind of proving everybody wrong and going in there and giving it all you got for meets like that, where a lot of people tend to crack under pressure. I just kind of thrive and feed off of it.
And you think once cross country is done, that you'll be 100% for time for track and field?
Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
Well, not an option, so yeah.
That's all I got.
And just you've obviously set out for the last meet. How else has your practice? Have you amended your practices to accommodate your feet?
A lot of time in the gym, a lot of time cross training. You go from a normal day of practice at cross country is a 15-minute recovery run. Well, I have to transfer that over onto the bike and elliptical, where I couldn't even elliptical for a while because I couldn't stand up on my feet. It's biking for an hour and a half in the morning and then biking for an hour and a half in the evening. So it's a lot more time to not get as much out of it, but there's nothing you can really do about it. So it is trying to balance that in between outside life, but it's just you gotta do it. You gotta get in there and put in the extra time so you can equate it equally to running.
And then when you're getting off the bike or the elliptical, are you still feeling pain? Yeah. So what about this scenario? You've kind of been holding back from the running, and then when you finally get to get out there and run, do you think maybe it could be a positive where you just have that extra energy, you haven't been out on the course and competing as much?
I mean, it's definitely going to be an exciting moment. Hey, I haven't raced in a month, and now I'm lining up for conference championships. But as a runner, you can't hit that peak arousal too early or you have to channel it right, because if you go out there and you're hitting your first mile where you're usually supposed to hit at 5:40, but you're super excited, so you go out at 5:30, it's not going to be good for the rest of the race. So you can have that excitement, and I know I'm going to be extremely excited to finally line up with my girls, but you just kind of have to channel it into good, efficient running energy.
So you're managing your expectations that first time out.
Yeah. I've learned throughout the years to accurately use my excitement to benefit my running. So,
Cool. Thank you.
mm-hmm.